Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to access live market data from Python. You may remember this program from a few months ago. I showed you how to use the data to calculate a global minimum variance portfolio, how to build out the frontier, the efficient frontier, and how to do some kind of cool math for making trading algorithms. But what I kind of skipped out on is how do you even access the data in the first place to begin doing those things? So in this file, the df helper file, that's where I do all my data processing. And specifically in this function, get prices, that is where I am accessing Yahoo Finance's API. It's called yfinance. I'm importing that package to access their live data, and then I'm making a specific request to their API. Okay, so this looks a little messy right here. So I'm actually going to show you this one step at a time, one command at a time in the console window. So where I start off is I'm just going to import pandas, and that's just kind of a data. Eh, it's good for doing calculations. It's good for storing data. It's really the best data package in Python, I would say. I mean, you need NumPy and a few other things maybe for doing certain math, but pandas, you'll see, can do a lot. So, okay, no, I actually don't need NumPy. I was just thinking out loud and then typing it. Okay, what I need is yfinance. These are the only two packages I need because I'm going to just simply use yfinance to create a data frame with all of the all the most recent data. Let's say from this year, from Airbnb, that was a recent IPO, and then all you need after that is just create a data frame. Let's just call it DF. And so you're saying that from this data, I want historical data. I went with daily prices. I want my data to be daily. You could do annually, monthly. I just thought for this, the kind of math that I'm doing, this is more particular to my program. It is up to you what you do. There's a lot of different options. I would check out Yahoo Finance API's documentation online. And then you just provide a start date. Whoops. So it's year, month, day, and then an end date, year, month. So to show how recent this can be, today's the 27th. Let's do it all the way up to today, February 27. Okay, so I've got that. Let's type in DF and see what that returned. Cool. Okay. And actually, we didn't see what data was. Let me show you what data is. So data, I typed up here. That is just the, you're going to see it's like a yfinance object. Okay. So for every ticker you type into yfinance, it creates an object. And from that object, you can kind of use some sort of, yeah, some sort of attribute of it to access specific data. Okay, and so here's the data frame of that data. You can see the columns are open, high, and we've got some more in the middle, and then dividend stock splits. To see the rest of the columns, type in df.columns. Okay, open, high, low, close. I use close because, again, I wanted daily data. At the end, the closing price, that's what I'm using. Volume is, of course, very important. Unfortunately, this does not have short interest, although I'm sure you could find an API that does have that. If you do find one with that, please let me know in the comments. And then I guess just the last step, I like to create an empty data frame, and then I can take the uh, the data out of the data frame from the API and store it in there. So I'm taking the closing data and I'm just going to call that. I'm just going to call that Airbnb and put it in this new data frame. I just created an empty data frame here, put the close in, called it Airbnb, just name the column that, and here are the closing prices for Airbnb from the first trading day after the start to the last trading day before the end date, which was yesterday, Friday. One last thing I'll show you, as I promised, just like some basic pandas operations. So I've got this data frame with all this closing price, with all these closing prices. How do I then do some operations on it? Well, percent change is one of those. When you're doing an operation, it requires parentheses because this is a method. Okay, when you're just accessing an attribute. I'm pretty sure my terminology is correct. I took a Python course a few years ago. Pretty sure these are methods of this object, and and the dot columns. This is an attribute of the data frame object. Pretty sure that's the correct terminology. But I guess as long as the code works, who cares? So percent change, and you can see here I'm getting, in the first one it's a nan because you can't take the percent change of a single day. It needs to be relative to the prior day. So we're going to always get one nan value in the first row, and then here are the percent changes. These are in, let's just look at it to make sure. From here to here, this is maybe like like a, let's see, point oh. I could see, what's the percent change? I'm just thinking, is this multiplied by 100 or not? No, it isn't, because this is actually, this is like a 6% change roughly right there from 139 to 148. That's roughly a 6% change. Let's try it out. So let's just make sure Pandas is doing the math correctly. What is 6.57%? So we're going to take that, multiply that by 1 plus 0.065756. And we get 148, which is indeed the next price. So we can see these percent changes are the actual returns, and this is 6.57 or 6.58%. So these are divided by 100. These are not the actual percentages. These are like, you have to add 1 to it, okay? So these are all, you have to multiply 100 by 100 to get into the percentages. So that is all. Let me know if you have any questions or general comments, and I can make videos about kind of how more of this works, but hopefully just getting the data is good enough and you guys can do some fun things on your own. All right. Again, let me know in the comments if you find out how to get short interest in a data frame. Very useful stuff. All right, bye.